Alright, so I need to talk to you about something extremely serious that I discovered today while trying to play Call of Duty Warzone, because every time I launch the game, my microphone, something I keep muted for a reason, automatically unmutes itself. There's no warning, no consent, nothing, and the red light that tells me my mic is muted switches to green, and that only happens when my mic is active, right? And I've been a gamer for years. I've played Call of Duty for years. I have had multiple microphones, multiple headsets, and I've seen my fair share of questionable decisions, from game companies. But this is on another level of shady, if you ask me. And people would say, now, well, this is just Activision. I mean, yeah, it is in their patents. If you read between the lines, it is connected to the peripherals. And I'm so glad I don't even have a webcam, because I'm 100% sure that they would have access to that camera as well, and every time it would be turned off, it somehow would turn itself back on, right? And it is a complete invasion of my privacy, if you ask me, and I know that privacy is a big concern since years, and many people are afraid of their data being shared and all that stuff. I'm not afraid of that being shared. I know that since years, my data is everywhere, for example, right? These data brokers selling my profile and data to many companies. This is not something I'm afraid of. Like, this is something you have to accept when you play games, when you have profiles on the internet. Like, everything you do, will be profiled and is stored in some database. But this is, like I said, a complete invasion of my privacy, and I think it's not okay if a microphone or, for example, a webcam just turns itself back on. And I mean, it doesn't feel like a mistake. This feels like deliberate. And I kind of wanted to break down why this is not only unethical, but potentially illegal. Even under multiple laws in Germany, the European Union, and other parts of the world. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll probably be as furious as I am, because this stuff is not okay. And let us just start with the basics. When I mute my microphone, it's because I don't want anyone or anything listening to me. It's just a safety feature, so to say. And that's a choice I make, and it's a choice every person is entitled to, right? So when Call of Duty, or any other game for that matter, takes control of my mic and forces it on, it's breaking a fundamental boundary. And this isn't just bad design or a harmless bug, because I was able to recreate this over and over and over again. And I had this feeling that my mic was suddenly turned on again multiple times by now. But I thought, like, you know what? Maybe you've been down that rabbit hole a bit too much, a little bit too deep. But that's not the case. This is my private space being invaded by a game I'm supposed to trust, right? And just think about it. What is the game doing when your mic is on without your knowledge? Like, is it transmitting data? Is it recording conversations? Even if they claim they're not listening, why do they need to bypass my settings and force my mic on in the first place? You know what I'm saying? This is a violation of trust between the player and the game developers. And in 2025, where privacy concerns are at an all-time high, if you ask me, this kind of behavior is completely unacceptable. And you know where it gets really serious? What Call of Duty is doing here isn't just morally wrong, it's potentially illegal. And under the General Data Protection Regulation, short GDPR, which applies to all companies operating in the European Union, there are strict rules about collecting and processing personal data. And Article 6 of the GDPR explicitly states that companies need clear, informed consent to process your data. And yes, audio data from your microphone counts as personal data. And in Germany, this is reinforced by the Federal Data Protection Act and Telecommunications Act. And both of these laws make it clear that data collection must be transparent and necessary, and users must have control over the data at all times, and forcing a microphone on without consent is a clear breach of these regulations. So by turning on your mic without your permission, Call of Duty is stepping into very dangerous territory, and they're potentially violating not just GDPR, but also other privacy laws designed to protect us. And I know some of you might be thinking, oh, so what? It's just a microphone. Yeah, but let me ask you this. What's next? If we don't push back now, what stops game companies from forcing access to your camera? All right, I'm pretty sure this is already happening, but or maybe even tracking more data, about you without your knowledge. And this isn't about one game or one company. When companies like Activision get away with this, it sends a message to the entire gaming industry that our privacy doesn't matter. And for those of us in Europe, this isn't just a privacy concern, it's an attack on our legal rights. We have some of the strongest privacy protections in the world, and it's up to us to enforce them, if you ask me. And now to the question, what can we do? And I've done all of this already. And the first step is simple but powerful. It's just uninstalling Call of Duty, right? If enough people uninstall it and call them out, they'll eventually have no choice but to fix it, maybe. I don't know. 70% of the players are already gone after a few weeks. And that speaks volumes. Second, if you're in the European Union or in Germany, for example, I urge you to file a complaint with your local data protection authority. And in Germany, you can report this to the Bundesbeauftragte für den Datenschutz und die Informationsfreiheit, short BFDI. And it's their job to investigate and hold companies accountable for violating GDPR and other laws. And last but not least is to spread the word. I already made a TikTok and a short. I even wrote something on Twitter. And share this video, or just share the short. I don't know, it's maybe better. Post about it on social media, tell your friends, make sure as many people as possible know what's happening. I encourage everyone to test it out for yourself. And the more noise we make, the harder it will be for Activision to sweep this under the rug. So yeah, if you value privacy, guys, and want to protect your rights, take action today. Like, seriously, uninstall Call of Duty, report them to your local data protection authority, and let's hold these companies, these people that work there, accountable. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced this issue, and let's keep this conversation going, as always. And together, guys, we can make a difference. We all can make a difference. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there, and trust me when I tell you uninstall the game, please do. Make sure you factory reset your PC, and maybe even reset your whole network to make sure that these people are not having access to your data anymore.